Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul
What
too.
up, man? It's your big brother, K-Reno.
It's your boy, Key Stove.
Y'all are tuned in to another episode of Underground Dialogue Podcast where the name speaks for itself. And tonight,
Yeah.
man, let me tell you something, man. I started seeing and hearing about this brother maybe 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And when I first saw him in person, it was at a show. He was performing at this show. And I remember thinking then, I was like, okay, he coming. He coming. He one of them ones that's we gonna be hearing about. And sure enough, as time went on, his name started ringing more and more. And I started to see how his pen game was respected. I started to see how his freestyle off the dome game was respected. He came through Swishahouse camp, did his thing. Now he's doing his own thing. Straight out of Haynesville, Louisiana.
Yeah.
My brother, a veteran in this game, even though he got a lot of destiny to walk in. Highway Yella is in the building. What's up, family?
What's going on, brother?
It's you, man. Glad to have you
Hey,
here,
I
man.
like that introduction, man.
Man,
I like the way you put that.
Look, man, we take care of our
Hey.
guests, man.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
How you been, man? Tell the people, man, how you went from Haynesville, Louisiana to the H, man.
Oh man, that's a story. But to try to make it short, man, most of my family on my father's side lives in Houston. So as a kid, I always came to Houston. Always. Because before my grandmother died, it was like every other weekend when I was in school, especially every summer and stuff like that. My grandma lived off Yellowstone.
Yeah.
So so I was back and forth as a kid, but after I graduated high school and, started making kids and stuff like that, that's when I actually moved to the H.
Yeah.
But in coming to the H as a youngster, I got familiar with the culture real quick. Like Astroworld was still here.
Okay.
I went to see Warren Moon play.
Oh,
I went to an Astros game.
no.
Oh yeah, I was in the Astrodome for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I heard a screw tape when I was a kid, and I was amazed. You know what I'm saying? So, like, my uncle, he was a big screwhead. My uncle Justin, he was a big screwhead. And when he first played me a screw tape, I was like, dang, what's that, man? Why the songs are slow?
Yeah, who messed up the tape?
I'm like, well, I was like, man, he had the Maxell cassettes. Yeah, man. I fell in love with it real quick, man. And he always played ESG. And at the time the ESG had dropped Selling the South, the second version. I never even heard the first version yet. And on the radio at the time, 97.9 was playing that Lil Kiki Still Pippin' Pins.
Yeah.
And that's how I fell in love with it right then, real quick. So yeah, that's how I ended up coming to being in Houston, and I fell in love with it. I said, man, as soon as I get a chance, I'm gonna move here and stay here.
So before that, what age were you around that time when you first got immersed into that? What
When I first, it had to been about, man, I had to been like 13.
Okay, so you was straight coming off.
Yeah, I had to been like 13, 14, man, and going back and forth to Louisiana at the time, putting them boys on them screw tapes back on.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you couldn't get the real shit back then like that in Louisiana. You had to get a bootleg or actually come down here and get them, and I was coming down here getting them.
What was y'all on when you're in your hometown before because you said you heard the screw tape, you was like amazed. Like, what was y'all listening to before that? What was you listening to?
I mean, all the mainstream stuff, really.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, back where I'm from, everybody's No Limit Cash Money and stuff like that. But, man, it even goes deeper, man, because when I was first born, of course, I was born in Shreveport, but my daddy was in the military, so we moved to California like right after I was born. So in a sense, technically, I was in California way before I knew what Louisiana was.
Yeah.
So when I was in California, my daddy used to bang Too Short all the time. I mean, even before all the screw stuff, I heard UGK and Too Short, and that's why UGK and Too Short my favorite rappers, period.
Yeah.
And
look like you can look like that.
if I had a dollar for every time somebody said I look like Pimp C, man. If I had a dollar for every time somebody said that, bro, I
Be
promise
a millionaire, Ron.
his kids even questioned me. Yo, Pimp literally questioned me one time and said, "Hey man, you sure we ain't related?"
Ancestry.com.
I said, bro, I don't know. All I know, your daddy was my favorite rapper. And it's just when I put on that, I always dress like this with the hat and the shades. And
the glasses and everything.
And the bit, all you gotta do is say, hold up, baby.
Well,
Yeah,
look,
man.
I know one thing. When y'all come out with a movie,
There we go.
we got it.
Oh, I told, hey,
That's perfect.
Cause look, you ain't gonna be able to duplicate
that.
Yeah, man, straight up. Bro.
I know every word to all his songs too.
Yeah,
Every last one of them.
yeah.
Every
So
last one of them.
you had to did meet Pimp, and y'all had
That's what I hate. I didn't. I never got to meet Pimp.
Yeah.
I met Bun a few times, man, and I could just tell way Bun was looking at me like damn. And every time we took pictures and I post them, and people be like, "Oh man, UGK back again." And I know Bun be, he don't like to, he get flashbacks and shit thinking about the time, with him and Pimp, man. So when I was around him, I never would try to bring that stuff up about Pimp. I'd be respectful, you know what I'm saying? But I get that everywhere I go, no matter that. When I just did a show in Lubbock this past weekend and said, we got Pimp C coming to the stage, and I'm looking around like, what the hell? They're talking about me. I said, yeah, man. I said, that shit crazy, man.
That's amazing how two people can have that kind of resemblance and they not connected.
No, I don't.
Doppelganger around this bad boy.
Yeah, but when Pimp died, I'll never forget when Pimp died, I was sitting at one of my homeboy houses. And back then, social media wasn't nowhere close to what it is today.
Yeah.
So a little chick had called me. She knew how much I love Pimp C. She called me and told me that Pimp had died. I was like, nah, man, you bullshit. And it came on the radio. Man, I cried like a baby, man. He's only like one of the 3 people that passed away that I took to heart, man. Yeah, Pimp C was a motherfucker, but still a motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, that let you know how cold and how great somebody was, because that had to be 2007, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So now what is 2026,
25.
baby? It's almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And Pimp name, just like Screw, his name still is ringing. You still hear that name every single day. So that lets you know the impact somebody can establish in a short period of time. Now, as far as your own style and when did you fall in love with it enough not just to be a listener? Now, I'm getting ready to start doing my thing too.
Well, like I said, when I first heard Too Short and UGK, I was ready then. But of course, I was young. I couldn't cuss publicly, so I always did it around just to myself. But man, I started saying I wanted to do it on my own in high school because I played basketball, so in the locker room and then before we run out for games, I always freestyle and get everybody hyped, and they loved it. And I took it serious after that, but still, like I said, I'm originally from a small town, and we didn't have no resources for music like that to try to do anything with it. So it's just like I was stuck in the box for years. So it didn't really get for real until I moved here.
Yeah.
Cause it was more opportunities here and stuff like that compared to where I'm originally from. So yeah, that's how I did. I still got my first tape I recorded when I was 14. Actually, me and one of my close producers are talking about revamping the whole project.
Yeah.
I still got it. I was like 12, 13 years old, and I got the whole project called It Way Below Zero.
Man, that's a blessing to have that old stuff, man, because a lot of times people would throw the original paper away or lose the tape, lose the master, man.
I still got everything. I even got when back in the day they had this the segment on the radio in Shreveport called Catch It, where you call in and freestyle. And I remember like it was yesterday, Hurricane Chris was on one of them. He was real young. I'm talking about like, he real young. And I ended up rapping against him like on one of the segments in the end because it was like a competition. But back then they called me Pimp B.
Yeah. Can't escape it.
Now, if you from Haynesville, Louisiana, those are the only people that know me is that. That was the first era of my music, the Pimp B era.
Yeah.
And of course, you know why they called me.
Right.
Even back then, before I even started wearing the shades and the glasses like that, it's funny how I got the name because I was in the classroom, I'll never forget. I think it was like 6th or 7th grade. It was around the time UGK Riding Dirty was out. And I always wanted to rap, I always rapping that Fuck My Car song. And I just rapped that shit out loud one day in class. Bitch didn't want to choose me, she wanted to fuck my car. And I got put out. And ever since then, they was calling me Pimp B.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, I was the kind of like a ladies' man at that time. Even at a young age, man, I was getting all the ladies and stuff like that. So they just started calling me Pimp B. Yeah. And I ran with that till I graduated. Yeah.
You've been solo from day one. I know a lot of people normally they start the group thing, then they kind of peel off to their own. You was solo from day one, or did you ever do the group thing?
I done the group thing off and on, man. But man, like if everybody in the group ain't on the same stuff that you on, man, it ain't gonna work.
Nah.
So I've tried it here and there throughout my whole career. I mean, I even got the Highway gang going now, and we solid and locked in. Now I think as of now, the people that are in my organization, we solid and locked in, man. We go everywhere together. We plan everything together. Everybody, I don't like to treat other people like they work for me.
Yeah.
I treat them as equal. Like y'all part of Highway gang, but y'all bosses too.
Come on.
I'm just kind of like the leader, so. Stuff like that. I don't want nobody to act like I own them or nothing like that. I don't got nobody on no paperwork or nothing because if you choose to want to do something else, you free to do that without all the drama and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I've done the group thing, man, but the way I operate, man, I go to every time I go to the studio, I record at least 10 songs at a time.
Right.
And ain't nobody messing with me like that right now. Even back then I was doing that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. When you was in Shreveport and you was listening to these screws, who was the ones to you that was sticking out the hardest?
Man, them ESG and Kiki's and Fat Pats, man. Yeah. Ooh, man. There was some good tapes, man. I'm talking about, man, I first heard that shit and I was like I said, I was bringing them tapes back and forth and me and my homeboys would sit around. They were listening to it, they was getting adapted to it, man. Like, hearing them first screw tapes, man, that was a good time to be around, man, for real. Plus, I was back and forth. Then I remember when the screw shop was on Cullen. My uncle used to walk me across 16 over there when we stayed off Yellowstone, man. Yeah. I still remember. I got a picture of me sitting in front of the screw shop, and I got that framed. Cause ain't the screw shop ain't that no more.
Yeah.
That's why I be trying to tell these boys, man. I've been around in the culture, man. I've been around, man.
Yeah.
I said a lot of boys ain't never even been to that screw shop.
Man, come on, man. The crazy thing about it is that, like I said, I was hearing your name just over the years, and I always feel like there are people that kind of they working, but they flying under that radar until that moment they just pop out. What was the moment when you went from being that young 13-year-old that was just finding your way to boom? Because I know you ended up in the Swishahouse.
Yeah.
What was going on in between that space, and how'd you end up with Swishahouse?
Man, back in the day, I always thought that trying to network with others would help you. And so back then, I dropped an album called Rise Above All. I still need to release that. I only had released it in hard copies, and I was selling so many hard copies, I didn't care to put it on the net.
And this was put out by yourself?
Yeah, I did it myself. Okay. I did everything myself. Yeah. Everything I've ever done to this day, I've done it by myself. Then nobody ever put no money up. Then nobody turned me to this person, that person. I did it all myself. But within doing that, like I said, just like today, I'm in Houston now. I'll be in Albuquerque tomorrow. Right. Like that's just how I operate. So that's how I really got my name, Highway Yella, because literally I was I was living in Florida. I had a little time when I was living in Florida, and when I left Florida, I had to come back. I found out I had a baby on the way and stuff like that. So I didn't really want to come back to Texas that quick. So between them that time, I made a little trip. So I left Florida and went to Atlanta, stayed there a couple of days, went to Memphis, stayed there a couple of days, left there, went to Detroit, stayed there a couple of days, went to Chicago. But when I was in Chicago, this around the time Snapchat just really got to popping. So I got a random message on Snapchat back then. They was calling me Yella Boy back then. That was the name I had before Highway Yella and after Pimp B. So this girl hit me up on Snapchat and she was like, "Man, Yella Boy, we messing with you up here in Milwaukee, man. You need to come up here." I said, "Milwaukee?" I said, "Man, I ain't know, because like I said, this is still kind of what before social media got to what it is now. So it was amazing to me to see that people way up there was rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I never forget. We sitting in the barbershop. It was 1 a.m. I had actually went to Chicago to chill with an old classmate from back home. And we was chilling in the barbershop, man. We in the South Side, and I'm quite sure everybody heard about the South Side of Chicago.
Yeah.
So we in the barbershop. It's 1 a.m. I get this message on Snapchat. Man, it's snow on the ground. It's like 20 degrees. I'm in a Cadillac, man. You know, regular Cadillacs ain't made for that road like that, but I made it to work.
Wow.
So you know what I'm saying? I drove to Milwaukee. She was at a club. I drove to Milwaukee. So Milwaukee ain't but like an hour, 30 minutes from Chicago, so I drove up there. So I get to Milwaukee. They literally, like, I'm thinking it's some TV shit. They literally rolled the red carpet out. I see the red carpet rolling out the door. I pulled up. I was like, okay, what's this? And when I get to the door, that's for you, man. We heard we had a celebrity coming. I said, man, I ain't no celebrity. So I gets up in the club, man. They playing my music. I'm like, damn, this shit crazy. So the girl, her and her husband, they was just telling me, man, how everybody messing with my music up there. So while we drinking, shooting pool, all that. So she busts out and say, I'm gonna start calling you Highway Yella. I say, oh hell no, ain't nobody finna call me that corny ass shit. So I'm lit. You know what I'm saying? I've been up 3-4 days hitting the road, man. I wasn't really trying to hit it at the time. So I left after the club shut down or whatever. I left. I said, man, I gotta head back to Texas. So man, I got to driving. I got to Missouri. Kind of by the time I got to Missouri, I sobered up a little bit, pumping gas, and I'm sitting there thinking like,
Now you one deep.
I'm one deep this whole time.
Okay,
One deep this whole time.
All right.
I get to Missouri. I never forget. I get to Missouri. I'm pumping gas, and it just came to me. I was like, damn, this Highway Yella shit kind of got a ring to it. So I called my graphic designer, same graphic designer I've had for 20 years. Most of the people that I deal with today are still people from day one. So I hit him up. I said, bro, make a logo of an interstate sign and put Highway Yella on it. He made the logo. I posted on Facebook. It went viral. So I was like, man, I'm gonna throw this Yella Boy shit away. Highway Yella is what it is. And then this, like I said, it all lines up because a couple months later, that's when I ended up in the Swishahouse for real. But like I said, there's another backstory to that too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had been dealing with Watts for years, way before that. So we already had built a relationship before I actually became a member.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask you. How's that business? Because I remember you said some way or another you was trying to let them listen to your stuff, and then you like, I ain't paying too much. But then I turned around and did some business. Explain that business part that you did that got them to really take you seriously.
And just like now, somebody hit me up like, man, Yella, listen to this. I'm like, man, what's the point of that? You know what I'm saying? So I understand all that now. So at first, he didn't want to fuck with me at first. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna have him chop my shit. So I hit him up, and he gave me the price. I was like, damn, this nigga want a lot of goddamn money. But so I did the first project with him. I'm still Yella Boy at the time. I did the project with him. It did crazy numbers. I said, damn, I need to do another one. So I just kept doing them back to back to back to back. And he finally accepted me, you know what I'm saying? Started bringing me around, putting me on shows with him and stuff like that. So that's kind of how we built the relationship. After I did a few tapes with him, after I broke bread, he even helped me make money back. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we kind of had got locked in. But yeah, you have to do to get anything now. You have to do the business. A lot of this stuff ain't really love no more. You know what I'm saying? We in the era ain't no love. All this shit fake, man. It got to be straight business, and that's what it was at first. We grew to become cool and close like that. So yeah, that's how I got locked in with Watts, and the same at the couple months after I got the Highway Yella name and all that. So we was at a show. Watts had a show in Angleton. I'll never forget, it was in Angleton. I want to say they had Lil Kiki there.
Okay.
So like I said, at that time I already been around Watts them for years, him and Green and all them. So, Green was like, hey man, I think you need to become part of the house. You need to get you a Swishahouse chain.
Yeah.
And it was me and this other guy. He was telling both of us to go get a Swishahouse chain. I thought about it. I said, man, if I get a Swishahouse chain, it wasn't reason why I wanted to get the Swishahouse chain because I was a diehard fan and I just wanted it. You know what I'm saying? So basically, it gave me the blessing to get the chain because you don't want to just get somebody's stuff and then they see you with it and be like, oh no, you gotta take that off, or you know what I'm saying? So I thought about it long and hard. I said, man, I'm finna go try to get this chain. Still at the time, I'm not getting it so I could be a part of something. It's just something that I love. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what happened,
Like wearing a rock, Houston Rocket t-shirt.
just like like wearing a Rockets t-shirt. So I I went up to TV Johnny and said, hey man, I want a Swishahouse chain. Well, the thing was, Watts thought that they had already had one. So I could have got that, but they didn't have it. So I'm like, well, how much is it gonna cost to get my own? So Johnny told me how much, and I was like, oh hell no. I said,
The
man,
price is hitting him.
I said, man, I'm not finna pay that much for another nigga shit. So I called Watts and told him, I said, hey man, I can't do it. I said, if I'm gonna spend that much money, it's gonna be my own shit. He's like, don't worry about it, and hung the phone up. Watts the type of guy, he real short. He real short on conversation. And he say what he say and hang up. You would think he tripping, but he really wasn't. That's just how he is. So couple of days later, he called me back. He said, go back to TV Johnny. I'm like, man, I'm not going back up there. He want too damn much. So I went back up there anyway. And I guess why I talked to them people or something, they went way down. So I said, hell yeah, I'm fucking with this. I'm finna get it. So I get the chain. Before I didn't make no posts or nothing. I sent a video of Watts of the chain. And shit, next thing I know, he made a post on Instagram and was like, shout out to the newest member of the Swishahouse. And I'll never forget, me and my uncle sitting on the couch. And I saw that shit. I cried for like an hour. And I ain't gonna lie, I cried because, like I said, being who I am as an artist and as a fan of the same thing, to be a part of it at that time, that was my biggest blessing at that time.
Yeah.
So he called me after he made the post. He said, you like that shit, Dean? I said, man, why are we full of shit? He said, nah, man, we locked in. He said, we gonna meet up tomorrow and, work out the details and all that. And that's how I ended up in the Swishahouse for real.
Yeah.
You got signed and everything?
Paperwork.
Technically, I ain't gonna say technically not signed because it was more of a like, I'm gonna push my Highway Gang brand, but I'm a part of the Swishahouse to help amplify my brand.
Okay.
So technically, I'm a part of under the umbrella. I'm part of the Swishahouse, but I wasn't on no paperwork or nothing. But I thank God for that. I wasn't on no paperwork. But I became officially a part of the Swishahouse, man. I felt like at that time that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right. I was thinking while you was talking on that, I was trying to think about, have I ever heard of any rapper that started their career financing their own career? I couldn't think of nobody in my head. And I don't care if you mention any of the greats that ever came through the city, you can always say, okay, well, that's who put him out.
Mhm.
That's who put him out. That's who put her out, or whatever it is. So to hear you saying from the very beginning, you was financing your own.
Yeah.
What put you in that mind frame? Was it a situation where you had the bread, so I'm gonna do it myself, or was it like, because we never see us doing it ourselves at a young age? We always looking for an investor or a label to get with.
Man, I take the rap as far as just like my personal life, I don't like nobody doing shit for me in no aspect. Like, I don't like my woman doing nothing for me. I don't like my daddy, mama giving me nothing. I treat that same thing with my music, man. I don't let nobody give me shit. That's how I've always been. I financed everything myself.
Yeah.
That's,
And you was young. About how old around this time when you was putting your projects and all that?
like I said, I started when I was 14,
Yeah.
even back then.
Yeah.
Back then, you know, I found a way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, back then my mom and daddy had separated, so it was just me and my mom and my sister. So I had to figure it out on my own. So that's where I kind of got that from, you know. So I just never, I don't like nobody doing nothing for me, man. Nothing. Even something just very small, because I always felt like if someone do something for you, oh, you gonna give it back to them some form of fashion in the future. That's how I look at it. So yeah, that's how I've always been.
You peeped that early because
yeah.
usually you got to kind of grow into that thought process because of what you already went through.
Yeah.
Like, man, I let them people, now they acting like I own this. So to have that in mind at that early age, that's why I asked that question. I was like, because from day one, we were like, man, we got to find somebody with some money.
And then it hit the highway.
Yeah,
Did you had like a trunk full of CDs?
Oh yeah,
Where you get that game playing from? Because a lot of people
Man,
don't get that. They've been with.
Well, he
Hey,
cool. He live no limit.
Yeah.
like I said, I listened to a lot of Master P. I listened to a lot of Master P. And I remember when Agony Knife used to come up there. Agony Life used to come, he came to my hood where I grew up at. Long time ago.
Yeah.
He had them little flicks and shit. He had the DVD. Hey, no, I'll tell you, man, that's man, he really was one of them guys that I was like, damn, this nigga coming from Houston, coming to this small ass town.
Agony Life name come up so much on this show, man, for that very thing, just people respecting his grind.
Yeah, man, that dude was coming up there. One time he came in a van.
Yeah.
I say, damn, hey, man, but I seen a lot of dudes do that, man. Even though how I really started rapping, my OG partner, Mr. Selster, he the one taught me how to write. And, you know, coming from where I was coming from, he was like, yeah, he was like the Zero here, like the little Kiki here and stuff like that. So he was doing major stuff back then because he was locked in with Tech Nine back in the day. So I watched him do his thing. That's kind of how I got a lot of my game. And he was actually the one that taught me how to write. I used to just write bars and not knowing that straight out.
Yeah.
He taught me the difference from 16s and all that, the hooks and all that. So, you know, that's where I got that from, man. So that's how I like watching dudes like that. And that's what made me just go around everywhere. And I be trying to hit the places that other people don't go. Yeah. Man, I go to Kentucky. I made moves in Kentucky, like Kentucky, Tennessee, New Mexico. I go to places that other dudes don't talk about. I always like to be different. I don't even like buying the same shoes another nigga buy. And if I do buy the same shoes another nigga buy, I'm gonna let you tear yours up first before I wear mine.
We ain't gonna have them on at the same time.
No, we ain't gonna have them on at the same time.
Yeah. See that's a individualistic type of mentality. I want to be the leader. I want to be the trendsetter instead of the trend follower. Now, did you, when your name started to come up, because like I said, I was hearing your name over the years, what was the moment where you was like, man, my name starting to pop out here?
When I realized this shit was working was when I dropped Coming Down Ain't Dead in 2020.
Yeah.
That was when everybody really started to tap in for real. That was when I started. Before then, besides selling out the trunk and stuff like that, I never really had got paid for no features before that. I never really got paid for shows before that. Besides the little shows that Watts had got me on a couple of paid shows before that. But it wasn't until that point I dropped Coming Down Ain't Dead where I was starting to get booked everywhere. I was in parts of Texas I'd never been. Stuff like that. So it was that moment when I dropped Coming Down Ain't Dead that when I started really benefiting from it.
It's a hard title too.
Yeah, man. It's a man. That Coming Down Ain't Dead it's a strong statement, man. It's a lot that I could say as of now what's going on within the culture. And that's another thing that I really feel like, man, because of the fact that, because I rep Houston for sure, true enough, but man, everybody know I was born and raised in Louisiana. And I kind of think that hinders me from people giving me the respect that I know that I deserve. Because when I dropped Coming Down Ain't Dead, I wasn't saying that the coming down music was dead. because the come down shit would never die here.
Yeah.
But if you go to other places like Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, then you start talking about, I'm going to come down, pop trunk, good grind. They're going to be like, man, what the fuck is you talking about? So I felt, that's why I came out with Coming Down Ain't Dead. And when we first started that, I'll never forget, it was in the height of COVID. Me and Lil Kiki got booked for a show in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out to my boy Dre. He was there. He could verify all this. We knew we wanted to start a movement, but we didn't know what to call it. So, man, we sitting at the bar. This shit is real lovely. Man, we sitting at the bar, and we just looked at each other. We both said, me and Dre, we looked at each other and said, man, Coming Down Ain't Dead. And I was like, hell yeah, that's it. And Kiki, I said that shit to Kiki on stage. He was like, hell yeah, I like that. So ever since then, I wanted to make Coming Down Ain't Dead just a song. But the shit was so strong, I said, man, I got to make this an album.
The movement.
Yeah, man. And then back then, like I said, it was still going, the music was still relevant here. But I felt like a lot of dudes that was up and coming at the time wasn't on that shit. A lot of dudes that was trying to rap from here at that time were trying to sound like Atlanta niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like now, it's a lot of dudes doing that now. And that's what I wanted. Yeah. I wanted to see everybody do the come down music, because that's what I love more than anything. And I feel like I don't get my flowers for that, because I know for a fact, I ain't gonna say no names, but I know for a fact, a lot of these guys wasn't doing that type of, not in the whole album form. I did a whole album, straight come down shit. We on volume 3, I just dropped volume 3 a couple of months ago. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I just wish that I can get my flowers, but I don't want nothing. I just want my respect.
You just made me think about something though, with the whole coming down. Like we had Harvey Love.
I was thinking the same thing.
Around that time, I remember he came with the Come Down King. I remember that.
And that whole come down style, as you describing it, it is a style.
Yeah.
It is. We had Craig G in here.
Yeah.
And just the way they spit it, the way they do it, the way you do it, it's a science to that.
Yeah.
So on the outside looking in, somebody may look at it like, oh man, that's that come down rap. It's like, no, but everybody can't do it to where it's gonna resonate with the people. It's not gonna resonate unless it's in you to spit that way. The way Kiki and Pat and all them used to rap back in the day, that's a foundation that, to me, it got to be ingrained in you.
Oh yeah.
To really get that off the way it's gonna be received.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that you look at, or you agree with that, because you making me look at it from a whole nother
man, that stuff got to be in you. You can't just wake up and say, I'm finna start coming down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna write me a come down.
The thing is, with the come down, if you really gonna come down for real, you're not finna write it.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
You know what I'm saying? You're not finna write it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're not gonna write it. That, like I said, that shit gotta be in you, man. Like I said, I was motivated to do that. ESG really taught me to get my freestyle up.
Yeah.
ESG will come in here and look at this wall.
Oh, trust me.
He'll look at all this shit. I still got the video. When we went in the screw shop, I shot my, that's actually the first dude I ever paid for a feature.
Yeah.
And you know, same thing with him, that the Watt situation, that's how me and ESG real close. Like I say, ESG done been to my mama house, woke me up out the bed and say, hey nigga, it's time to rap. He literally came to my mama house. So ESG was the one that actually really just taught me how to get my freestyle up. Like I said, this nigga look around and start rapping about shit. I'm like, damn. So every time I do a show, and that's the same way how he does his shit. Either before the set or at the end of it, he busts a freestyle.
Every time.
That's exactly what I do. And that shit be.
But let me tell you something that I saw with you. Like most people that freestyle, you know, you got some people, it's levels to freestyling. Like you got some people, they can do the basics. Okay, I can make the words rhyme. That's me. Then you got other people who on a different kind of level out. This dude here, and then you got people who have a freestyle ability that you got like, man, that sound like he wrote it, but he did.
Yeah.
Now, what I saw you doing, I saw a freestyle you did, and you wasn't spitting just the straight regular. You was on a style, on a tongue twisting like style.
Oh yeah.
But coming off the dome.
Yeah.
To me, that's next level, bro, because you gotta think a whole lot quicker when you
Man,
there's a lot more to put in there.
I listen to a lot of Bone Thugs and Twister too, so that's where that come from.
Yeah. But off the dome though,
Yeah.
bro, that was impressive.
That's what I love about my style. I kind of mixed all of that together. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's not officially just all the way Houston, because I will flip in some Twister type shit, some Bone Thug shit in my freestyles, because that's all I was listening to young when I was growing up. So man, the Houston stuff, I just kind of put it all together.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, bro. You when I saw that, I was like, okay, yeah, because you have to be a little faster of a thinker.
Oh yeah.
You putting more word. I can go cat in the hat off the dome all day long. Yeah. But when you flipping and changing up and then up tempos back to slow tempo, and you gotta think that on spontaneous like.
Oh yeah, your mind gotta be in milliseconds for real.
Yeah.
Then you gotta do it a lot.
Yeah. And that's to me, it's just a gift. You know, everybody see we have to all get to a point where number one, we identify and recognize what our strong points are, but also to identify and recognize what our strong points are not. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. So, 'cause that's what's gonna separate a Highway Yella from this guy, because I can look at it and say, man, that dude's amazing. That ain't something I can do. But I appreciate him more because I can't do it and he can. Yeah. It's like, man, that's a gift, bro. That's a gift, man. So let me ask you this. So as the business side started to come in, by you having already been a cat who did all this stuff yourself, what were some of the things that you learned from doing it yourself that when you came to Swishahouse and other business situations, you were already on top of? Because paying for pressing, paying for studio, paying for features, you had already navigated, them roads like that.
Man, when I came into the Swishahouse, that's when I started learning the other shit. Like, I was used to doing a lot of things a certain way because, like I said, I've done everything myself. And certain things that I was doing, Watts didn't want me to do. And I was like, oh, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care. And, a lot of stuff that he was trying to tell me back then, I really didn't understand it to now. You know what I'm saying? It's once I feel like I jumped the fence when I came to Swishahouse. And what I'm saying by that is, it's besides the next level of greatness, it's a next level of bullshit too. You know what I'm saying? So this really was the bullshit, like people treat you different, man, when they think you that nigga or know you that nigga, man, you get treated different. And if you never been treated like you was that nigga before, like there's a lot of stuff that you ain't gonna never know. Like I'm still learning, but there's so much I've learned on both sides, being on both sides of the fence, man. Like I really feel like I can write a whole book about the business part of this shit now, for real.
Yeah. When you jumped in the game 2 feet into the business side, and to me, I think they gave you a head start on everything. Have you ever reached a point where like the business side? Because I tell people all the time, do your best as an artist to separate the business from the art in your mind. You can't separate it in reality because they are locked in. But in order to really keep your sanity and keep your focus, you have to separate the business from the art in your mind, meaning that I know the business is dirty, but I started off in the art for the love of it. So did you kind of go through there, hit that crossroad? It's like, man, this just messed up, man. I ain't want to do it no more.
Man, I tell people all the time, when you dealing with other artists, you have to separate what you think about them personally than than the music itself, because you could, if I really had to do, if I felt like if I took everything personally with people I done did stuff with, I wouldn't have songs with nobody. You know what I'm saying? You have to set the personal shit aside from the business when you're dealing with anybody, because like I said, you don't know what they own. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was the one thing I really learned how to do once I became in that era, because man, there was times where I was like, damn, man, I want to say fuck this shit. This shit too fake. But then I had to think. I said I had to learn how to, man, I got to separate my personal feelings aside from this person in order to do business, so it could still work. And I think that's one of the main things everyone needs to learn, because everybody, like I said, man, I grew up I still have a big heart, and that still bites me in the ass today. You can't have a big heart in this shit, man. You gonna get put dead last every time, dog.
Yeah. It's part of it. I try to tell people do your best to balance it though.
Yeah.
Because if you let the people in the business make you bitter, then people who are deserving of that good heart, they'll miss out on it.
Yeah,
And it's
miss
not
out
even
on
their
it.
fault.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
even their
Or
fault.
that
'Cause
transfer you from being who you actually really are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you a big hearted person, that's you, and God gave you that gift to be somebody.
It'll numb out
Yeah.
your
That's
true self.
that's an everyday battle with me now,
Yeah.
man. Everyday battle.
Yeah. But you know, it seemed like you won it or you winning the battle because you mentioned about the Highway Gang and how you have people around you now that are solid, you know. So in a sense, it seemed like you still kind of was like you just took control over who you let your circle be.
Yeah,
If
man.
I'm correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
you right.
Yeah.
I said now that I after all the stuff I've been through, man, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I want to do. I know what to look for now. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff that I've done that I ain't too proud of, but it is what it is now, man. You know, it is what it is. But I know exactly. I'm heading in straight forward now. I ain't looking back now, for real.
Have you ever lost confidence like in your skills and your art? I know you can lose confidence in the business. We all have done that. But has it ever been a time where you like question like your skill? Like, man, I don't know if I'm
No, not really, man, because like I said, man, I always, man, no matter what, man, man, it's been the same since day one, and I never changed. Like, the main thing I don't care if you like my shit or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where a lot of people get messed up because they worried about, oh man, this nigga ain't gonna like my shit or she ain't gonna like my shit, and I don't care about that, man. I really don't. If you don't like it, oh well. But just because this one person might not make it, 10 people down the street gonna love it.
come on.
You know what I'm saying? But I never lost sight of me as far as an artist because that's how I've always been since a kid. But now, you know, there's been times, man, because of the other stuff, I almost gave up a few times, man. I almost gave up a few times. And
Right.
I said it was hard to get back to where I'm at today compared to 2 years ago.
Yeah. What happened then? Like, what made you keep going instead of giving up?
The fans, man.
Yeah.
You know, after that situation that I went through with Watts or whatever, I wanted to say fuck this shit. I wanted to say fuck it, and I went through, like, I feel like I went through a deep depression, man. Like I went through a lot, man, during those times between now and then, but I never thought I was gonna ever get back up, man. I really wanted to give up because coming from where I'm from and seeing what I've been through, becoming part of the Swishahouse and then it just got taken away from me out the blue like that, man. That shit hit different. I cried when it before, and I came in the Swishahouse, and I cried when I left.
Man.
You know, there's a lot of stuff people don't know, and that's why I'm grateful to be here today because every time I tried to tell the story, it was always in anger. So it was always fuck this bitch ass nigga, fuck that hoe ass nigga, whatever. I had to grow from that. I'm not on that now. You know what I'm saying? I even messed around and dropped the album in the process of that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's funny? The intro of that album came from your podcast.
Really?
What's that?
Man, like, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the intro came from your podcast.
Wow.
You had Watt sitting right here,
Right.
Yeah.
and he said some shit like, I had this artist, and he was going and going and going, then boom. And you said cancel culture.
Yeah.
That was the intro of my album. That was the intro of my album. At that time, I felt, man, I didn't know what to do, man. I was lost.
Yeah.
When I got kicked out, I felt like it was the worst day of my life, man. Like I felt like somebody just came and ripped my arms off of me, and couldn't grab shit no more.
Yeah.
Like I really felt so bad, and now I look back, man. I don't I don't hate Watts, man. I don't. I wish him the best.
Absolutely.
You know, we might not ever rock with each other again, but I wish the best for him. I don't have no hate for that man, his family, anybody that still rock with him, all that. It got to the point to where the stuff that I didn't like was that people was picking sides. See, I'm not gonna get on here and act like everything is all cool. This shit is divided as hell. The whole Swishahouse shit is divided. And you know, I see the stuff people saying, man, this stuff ain't unified like that, man. I'm gonna keep it real. It's not unified like that, man. This shit is all segregated, man, because, you know, the stuff Watts has done is caused a divide. Like, me personally, I don't feel like I did anything to deserve what happened to me, because right before that happened, I literally had just came from Vegas and did a song with Boosie. Like, it was really starting to grow. And just for it to happen like that out the blue, and how I got told that I wasn't part of it, ended up with a cease and desist letter, all that shit. And at that time, I wanted to kill. That's how I felt for a long time. And like I said, everybody was picking sides. And then at the same time, after that happened, that's when him and Dash had their situation. And that was another thing that kind of messed up everything. But you know, I don't want to go deep into that. The Watts or Dash had to come up here and talk about that. But all that caused a divide. Some of us hang with each other, some of us don't. And I know who really fuck with me for real, and that's cool. But all I ever wanted out of this shit was, when I first came to the Swishahouse, all that I wanted was to have all of us together. I remember, like, we was at a Christmas party, I think, Big Pick and Big Tiger all in was saying, man, we need to do a Northside 13 and all that. And I was like, man, that's gonna be big. And none of it never happened because I was advised to not even fool with the previous members. I was advised not to do nothing with them. And I still tried to anyway, but a lot of this stuff didn't never come to full circle. But like I said, I went through a lot behind the scenes and all that, man. And I really felt like it's all bullshit at the end of the day. It's all bullshit, because I just don't like the fact that people was picking sides. I had got death threats, all kinds of stuff behind that Meltdown album. And you know, there has been times when Watts hit me up and be like, let's squash the shit, but then I find out about other stuff that you doing, and I'm like, wow, how do you want to squash something when you literally trying to blackball me, man? I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, I didn't do shit to you. But when you did what you did to me, I feel like I had to do what didn't nobody else do. Everybody know what he done to them. This ain't no secret, man. Everybody knows. I just felt like I was the one that had enough ball to stand on the shit, and I did. I can't take it back. But do I hate I did the Meltdown? Of course I do, because that's not who I am as a person, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't taking shit down or nothing like that, because I mean, it's just that was part of my era. And you know, in the midst of that, you know, I felt like I know on the outside looking in, it may look like I just started fucking with G-Dash because of the whole Watts shit that happened. And it's really not like that. Me and G-Dash was always cool. It's just that because of how I got brought into the Swishahouse, that G-Dash didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And I respected that, because the whole time I was led to think that G-Dash didn't fuck with me or didn't like me at all, but I was wrong. And I didn't find out till later when he finally told me why he didn't fuck with me like that. I ain't had no trouble but to respect it. And the reason why we ended up clicking up is just, like I said, we was always cool anyway. So it's still a Swishahouse thing, but you know, it's the Swisher Blast now, you know, and we got some big stuff coming out. Like, man, we got some big stuff coming out.
I was using in my head on one. I was glad that you said, like you said, do I regret kind of how I handled it? And you said, yeah. You know, I was glad to hear you say that, because I think at the end of the day, you really got the kind of heart. It's like, man, I didn't want it to go this way. It just, whatever disappointments that you might have encountered, that just you took that like, man, that's messed up. But I'm glad it makes me feel like a day can come where it can fix. Now, in your mind, you might be like, probably not, but I've seen more damaged situations get repaired over time.
Yeah.
And the fact that you said earlier, you know, I'm not in that mind frame I was initially, because now I can speak on it minus the anger.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
That's growth.
Yeah.
Because, I always sit and, me and you, we run into each other. We never, this probably the longest we ever had a conversation.
Yeah.
But, and I've been on watch for years, and we don't be around each other a lot, but we have encountered each other a lot. I just feel like business can sometimes muddy up the water, and then we kind of get into these misunderstandings. If it never comes to a place of kumbaya, cool. But I love to see it come to a place of peace where we ain't even talking about that.
Well, like I said, as far as us doing anything of it again, I don't really see it. I don't, but I do want to be able, just say for instance, he walked in his room right now. I don't want to have to feel angry or be like, damn, I'm finna get this nigga, or this nigga finna get me. I want him to be able to sit there on the side of that table and do what he had to do. I'm gonna do what I had to do, and we leave. We both going home.
So because I heard you say when he reached out to you to squash it, you said you heard from other people.
No, it was stuff I actually seen. I got receipts. And that's another thing. I'm not finna speak on that without a receipt. I got receipts on everything I said on the Meltdown album, everything I'm saying right now. Like, I was being told by random females that this man they showed me in their phone where this man done said, hey, don't fuck with Yella, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, man, for real? But then I'm hearing, he saying he want to squash. I'm like, damn, you confusing me. So I don't really know, but all I know is that I just had to keep pushing, man. Like I said, that stuff, like I said, I don't have no, like I said, I wish the best for him. Even when whatever that situation that happened a few months ago when he was in the hospital, I prayed for him.
Yes, sir.
I don't want nothing to happen to you, then you can't, even on the positive or negative side, you can't see what I'm finna do for real. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I don't wish no bad for that man. At that time, yeah, I was angry as hell. And it could have went down however it would have went if we would have saw each other. But now I ain't on that, man. Plus, now me and Dan's got this situation going on. I can't have him looking goofy as hell.
You know what I was thinking about too, brother. And I'm breaking it all the way down to Houston. We can go national all day long, but when I think about Houston, and your big brother been doing this since it was in Houston, but there has never been a situation where a label owner has always had a perfect rapport with the roster artists. I don't care what label you mention. It's just the nature of the game.
Yeah, that happens in every camp.
But I have seen it. I've seen it where it went really bad, but and come together. And I've seen it where it's like, I ain't tripping on it no more, but I ain't dealing with that dude no more. But it's just the nature of how it works, man. I could think of 10 labels.
That's
come
just
out the
like
city.
You think everybody on a No Limit and Cash Money versus wanted to be there with each other?
Same thing, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's a prime example of that, because we are, as fans, we all know the backstories to that.
Come on, man.
And but they got up there for the bag.
Yeah. And definitely for the bag, but they got up there for the fans too.
Yeah, for the fans.
That's who's most disappointed in a lot of situations. Like, it's the fans, because when they come in, they see y'all as a unit.
Yeah.
And then, so now I love you. I love him. So now, since he with him, I love him too.
Yeah.
So now I love y'all.
Mhm.
Then when one breaks off, just like you said earlier, now we got to choose sides.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't want. We want it to be where there's some kind of unification. What you was about to say, King?
I was going to say, also, history can't be not proven that that's, like, the man that built, they got their own little bricks of what he put into the Swishahouse, or like you were saying of the verses. Each one of those artists has put a brick in that No Limit or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And so they represent that brick that they placed up in that thing itself.
And the legacy, man.
Yeah.
Like I say, Highway Yella name was ringing. I was like, man, this dude here. I didn't even know you was with a part of Swishahouse. I'm just like, this just a new young dude that's coming.
Man, that's one of the main things. Like, I didn't never like when they promote me, I never liked it, the fact that they say Highway Yella other Swishahouse. I feel like I'm my own everything. So, man, I'm just Highway Yella. No matter if I'm part of Swishahouse or part of this and that. And man, and I know my worth because even without that, man, my name was still doing what it was supposed to do. So, man, I fully be feeling that. I be feeling that love and energy, man, and people respect that what I've done prior to that and up to now.
But I think also too, just to push back a little bit on what you said, it's just a benefit to both of y'all to combine those.
Yeah, I mean, cause man,
together.
be honest, man. When I came in the Swishahouse, man, the Swishahouse was dead, man.
Yeah.
The Swishahouse was dead, man. And
Cause you came in after all of the.
yeah, I came in.
Yeah.
I came in after all that, man,
Yeah.
and I told Watts, I said, man, this is gonna be the best one ever. And like I said, it was rough at first because like I said, man, it had nobody been in that position for a while. But after a while, it started working. And like I said, man, G-Dash was over all the merch at the time. He said, man, the merch number skyrocketed, man, because man, I repped that shit. Man, I had that shit on my back. Man, I had niggas all in Kentucky wearing that shit. I wore a Swishahouse something everywhere I went. I had a Swishahouse something. And that's the reason why I felt so bad after the shit happened. Like, there was a lot of shit that people don't know that I took because of that. Because just as much people didn't want to fuck with me because I was Swishahouse, it's the opposite now. So many people that wasn't trying to fuck with me now because I don't. It's because I'm not in that no more. So it's crazy, man. But like I said, now the shit that I'm on now, man, like everything is gonna come back. And like I said, I felt like I've been stuck for a while because of that. Like I said, man, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like the reason why I even called the meltdown, it wasn't even gonna be all those slugs and shit at first. It was only because when I actually took the Swishahouse chain back, I took the Swishahouse chain back. And that's what this is now. That's what the Highway Yella chain is now. This was the old Swishahouse chain. I took it to Johnny and said, hey man, you need to melt this motherfucker. I want this. That was the reason why I called the album The Meltdown, but it turned into some other shit.
So did Watts hit you after the meltdown on some peace talks? Did it happen after that?
No, that was way
before.
No, he didn't hit me up to way after that.
Okay.
He never said nothing to me, but I seen the post, the subliminal post, and people that was coming at me like, oh, the responses was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, the response was crazy, but it was the fact, you had people playing both sides. You had people telling me that's another thing that made me grow and see how fake this shit is because people was coming, oh, fuck Watts, fuck that fat motherfucker. The next thing you know, he posts something, he going, yeah, bro, yeah, man, da 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 da. And they would do me the same way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when I realized, you know what? After a while, I was like, man, this shit ain't even worth it because people just picking sides or playing both sides.
And I'm so glad you said that because that is a lot of times that's the driving force behind mess.
Yeah.
It's people on the sideline who are not behind the walls. They don't know what's really going on.
No.
And they just throwing their little slugs and alley-oops out
and
there.
Then another thing is that it's just like, now we in a generation to where people accept everything. If you go to jail for ratting, being gay, do all kinds of fuck shit, you get praised for that now. So it didn't even really matter what I was saying, rather if it was true or not. I'll let you listen to the meltdown and be the judge of that. No matter if it was true or not, if that man has power, money, that's who they fucking with. And of course, like I said, I ain't finna sit here and cap because between me and him, he got the most power and the most money. So that's what most people gonna rock with, no matter if I was telling the truth or not. That's what really made me just say, man, you know what? Fuck this shit. This shit don't even matter because no matter how much I tell the truth, anything is. I just hate it. It did cost me a lot of opportunities. I ain't gonna lie. It cost me a lot of opportunities. And like I said, I had to make my bed and lay in it with that. It cost me a lot of opportunities. But it also gave me a lot too. But I rather had the opportunities that I lost. But it is what it is now, man.
It is what it is. And never let outsiders dictate how you feel about a situation. You move on how you feel about it. And how you feel about it is what it's gonna be. But the comment section is always the most dangerous aspect of conflict because you're gonna have people that's gonna side with you. Yeah. You gonna have people on side, and then like you say, that's gonna play those both sides. So my prayer and my hope is that a peaceful resolution comes to where it's like we don't even have to have these conversations no more. Because just I can tell you're a good-hearted dude.
Oh,
You
yeah,
wear your
man.
heart on your sleeve like that. You're loyal. And I've been knowing Watts for years, and from my vantage point, Watts always been a solid brother. I just know the CEO is never gonna be fully satisfactory to the artist, and sometimes the artist ain't gonna be fully satisfactory to the CEO. So I pray that y'all get that together. That's where we want to be with that. In terms of you now being, which you've been a boss from what we learning, but now with the guys that you bring under you, you say you don't do no contracts, but what's your process of when you are seeking out an artist to come under your umbrella? What is it that you looking for?
Yeah, like if you was looking,
if I can't see me in them,
Yeah.
I can't fuck with them.
What parts of you are you looking for?
Mostly I like to go everywhere. You ain't ready to hit that road.
Highway. You gotta be.
No, like I said, man, it's highway game shit. Like I said, man, if you can't, man, hit that road, and your studio acting gotta be at least half is mine.
Right.
I can't make you go do 10 songs a time. Like I said, that's what I do. And man, if you could at least go to the studio and do 5 records at a time, oh yeah, I can fuck with you.
Right.
Are you willing to coach? Like, say you got Feeder Road Red. Feeder Road Red.
Backstreet Blue.
Yeah. But he almost there. You show him how to get there?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. Like I said, if I could see it, if I could even see half of myself in you, I'm fucking with you. Because like I said, man, it's people stuck in just sitting here or wherever they from. I ain't never been that type of person, man.
Yeah.
Because you gonna get hated on where you from the most anyway. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get the love too, but man, you gonna get hated on the most where you from. And if you could see that, you gonna wanna go somewhere else. You should.
Yeah.
You remember when we had LD in here, LD?
Yeah.
And he's from a small town too. I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked him. So because when you said you get hate on where you from, what was the response now? How often you go back to Haynesville?
Oh,
now, or they like, man, that's how I do it. And they like,
They were like,
Oh,
they ain't
no.
lost his accent.
Oh man, they hey, oh they been said.
He don't even sound like
They said that before I even left for good. Oh yeah. They always say, "Oh, you a Texas nigga now."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Like now, they don't do it out loud.
Right.
But they see me at the gas station. Man, you doing your thing, brother. Man, you know what I'm saying? Give me my flowers. You know what I'm saying? But it's not gonna be out loud as it should be, but they rather give somebody else the crown that ain't never left the town.
I was just about to ask, cause you got to be the most famous person to come up out that bad.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Besides
athletes.
Matter of fact, my little young partner, he played for the Panthers. He got drafted last year.
Gotcha.
But as far as on the music side, man,
It ain't close.
It's a couple of cats, but man, I ain't gonna say I ain't trying to be cocky about it, man. I've done, still is gonna do the most. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's a couple of cats, but man, I got the crown for that, man. I got the crown for that one.
What's left? Like if this is your plate right here, man, and what are you what's left to scoop on your plate that you ain't got on there already?
I mean, man, when I started rapping, I only wanted a few things out of this, man. I didn't care about getting $1 million or just being the most famous guy in the world, man. All I wanted was to get a song from Flip and ESG. Dear Screw had passed away already, man. May God rest his soul.
Yeah.
And to watch to chop my shit. That's all the fuck I wanted.
Right.
That's all I wanted, man. That was it. And man, I've done that 1 million times already. So now I had to set myself different goals because that shit. I had to set myself different goals. So now, like, G-Dash is that guy. But, as is in this position, it's got to be an artist to represent that.
Right.
And that's where I'm coming in at. I know G-Dash still the same G-Dash that was signing the checks for Paul Wall in. He's still the same guy. That's what people don't understand, man. Don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to shit on Watts, but it was G-Dash, man. It was G-Dash behind the scenes making them plays for Kiki when he came in. Now I said, them boys wouldn't say that stuff in them songs for real, you know? So like I said, G-Dash is still that same guy. So we gonna make it like that again. The same thing I really tried to do with Watts, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out. And I just knew if it would have just lasted a little longer, just a little longer. And then, like I said, you had to think about it, man. Watts could have put anybody in that position at the time. Like I said, he wanted Chucky Trill to be a part of it. Like, you know, it was a lot of guys, he told me this. It was a lot of guys he wanted to be a part of that, and he chose me. So what do you think niggas was saying to him behind the scenes? Oh, man, you got this nigga to be a part of that? Oh, man, that nigga ain't even from Houston. Like, it was, and when people want to hate on me here, that's the first thing they say. That's the same thing somebody said to me once me and Watts fell out. Ah, nigga, you over here trying to diss the outside. Nigga, you ain't from here. You know, stuff like that, man. So, like, man, niggas need to go on with that, bro. Cause, like, at the end of the day, man, I came here on a positive thing. I came to rep the culture, still gonna rep the culture. You know, that's not gonna change, man.
Absolutely.
And it's not gonna change. I'm still... You're gonna have to take me out the game, take me out of here permanently. I'm not gonna stop. I've never been driven this hard. I never thought I would get to where I'm at now. And I feel like I'm in a better position now than when I was dealing with him. So I'm not mad, because the main thing he did tell me that I took from the conversation that we had when he told me he didn't want me in no more, the main thing he told me that resonated in my mind still to this day, he said, you could be like Paul, come in there, Mike Jones, and Slim. You could be the next one of them, because they all came in, and then when they left, they became the greatest, and they still are today. That's the only thing I took from him in that last conversation that I know is gonna happen.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
Can always do it. Okay, always ask this question to a lot of people that we come in here, and I was gonna ask you the same question. If you could work with somebody on your list, or your what you call that, your wish list, what artists would you like to work with in the city and then out the city?
In the city,
Yeah,
I gotta do one with Ro and this man.
yeah.
Excuse
you done?
I've been,
Easy.
yeah, I'm a, since we talking about that, before I answer the next question, I'm gonna give you your flowers too. We was in Louisiana bumping you too.
Thanks.
South Park Coalition, all that shit, man. Point blank. Man, we was on that shit hard back then. I never forget me and my homeboy Pop. Shout out to my boy Pop. Man, we used to go to Unq in El Dorado every Friday. You know, shit dropped on Fridays back then.
Yeah.
No, Tuesday.
the record shop.
Tuesdays. So you know I ain't lying.
Yeah.
Tuesdays. And man, I'll never, man, all that shit, man. And when you had one point, you were dropping a bunch of them motherfuckers. I was telling them, I said, hey man, I can't keep buying this nigga K-Reno shit, man. I said, God damn, bro. I said, man, I'm talking about nigga, at one point in time, you was dropping them hoes like flies, bro.
We still are.
Yeah.
But you know, but this how I know you authentic. Because when he's talking about all that, you know, I heard one of his songs, he was shouting out PSK.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just showing love. Like,
That boy bumped that big paper.
Yeah, so I already know that he was, you know, checking us out, you know what I'm saying? Because our clique is set up to where you mention one of us, you just mentioned all.
Yeah, man, we was on that hard, man. Like, we was on all that. Like I said, at one point in time, I'll never forget, I told my homeboy, I said, man, I'm not finna keep buying this nigga K-Reno shit, man. I said, man, because you know what I said at the time, man, when I was buying all that stuff when I was younger, I used to borrow money from my mama and tell her, man, let me do something. I never wanted video games, clothes, and shoes. I was writing a list of everything. I never forget when that Bad News Travel Fast came out, Point Blank.
Yeah.
It had, I forgot exactly who was in the back of it when it said coming soon. I used to do shit like that. I used to write the list down and give it to my mama. She'll go find shit.
Go find it.
That's how
that.
She used to go get them for me, man. My mama is my biggest fan, and she knows exactly what this means to me in every aspect. Cause I said that's all I wanted. But when y'all was coming at one time, I was like, man, I ain't finna be buying this nigga K-Reno
But watch
shit.
this though. Listen. This the man just say he going in the studio dropping 10
10
songs
songs
at
a
a time.
day,
So
yeah.
now they gonna be looking at you like, man, I can't keep up with this dude.
Like I said, at the time I didn't understand that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now I do. But I eventually went and got him anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was like, man.
But I love that because you know it make you think about Pop and make you think
Yeah.
about guys who had that work.
Pimp
And
used to do the same thing.
and who?
Pimp?
Yeah, Pimp C.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zero.
Of course.
Always, ain't no telling how many songs. I think I asked him one time how many songs he might got in his career, and I forgot what he told me, but it was a lot. So the thing is, it's never a bad thing to archive. Just load up as much music.
Oh man, I got like 8 albums put up right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, literally.
It's never such thing as too much music.
No.
Never such thing as too much.
No. I'm just waiting to the top of the year and I'm gonna start unloading the clip again.
Man, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt, man. So what you working on? Anything you got coming out that we need to know about? That's already out.
Man, I'm finna drop. They finna come real quick, but definitely dropping Yella versus the World. That's kind of I ain't gonna say it's a response to it's like the aftermath of the meltdown. It basically is gonna tell you the growth and basically speak on, you know, how people were switching up, picking both sides, stuff like that. And it's speaking on the how I've grown as a person and as an artist since then. So that's definitely coming. I'm talking about the cover look just like the Zero versus the World with the belt. I got the belt on and everything on the cover, man.
Oh,
but that's definitely coming out. And me and Dash actually working on the project, and I'm like 3 songs done. 3 songs from it being completed. I'm not gonna say the name of it yet, but that's coming out for sure. And to answer your other question, man, before I leave this earth, I have to do a song with Too Short.
Oh, because of Pops.
Yeah, man. Plus my uncle, he when my uncle was in the military, he was stationed in Oakland. So him and Too Short became close, and you know, like I said, every time Too Short come to Houston, he the first motherfucker they call.
Oh, you can do it then.
Yeah, I just ain't got around to it. I met Short a couple times.
Yeah,
that's probably one of the only few people I met when I felt like starstruck. Cause I teach dudes all the time, man. Don't be acting like these other dudes or don't become a groupie, man. A lot of rappers don't respect that when you come around as a groupie, man. They don't want to fuck with no groupie ass nigga.
Man.
So, man, when I met Twister, it was the same thing. I said, I was holding it so hard on the inside. I was like, oh my God, my nigga did Twister. Because the adrenaline rush was a motherfucker.
Man.
Yeah. I got to do a song, Too Short, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and Twister. I have to do a song. Before I say fuck all this shit for real, I have to do one of them. Or 3. I'm gonna do all of them. That's just how I think. I'm gonna do all of it.
Right.
So, like I said, it may come this year coming up. You never know.
Yeah, you know, that's the belief you gotta have.
I got connections to all of them.
Yeah.
I just ain't, you know, like I said,
ain't moved on.
I did the song with Boosie 3 years ago. I still haven't dropped it. I really now since I've grown as an artist, I feel like I don't want to have to use another artist to. You know, the people think, oh, man, you did a song with so-and-so, it's going to blow up. I done seen a lot of dudes do these big records and don't do shit.
Yeah, them days is over.
Yeah, them days is over with, man. You got to put money into the marketing.
Right.
You got to, stuff like that, man.
30 years ago, you could get away with that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nowadays, with how the industry is set up and all that, it's not guaranteed. You can have freaking Michael Jackson on the unreleased, and it ain't guaranteed that it's going to
hell no, for real.
We just talking to Raw LT about a song with Boosie, and she got the feature from him, but he wouldn't clear it. So then now you got to figure out ways to get it cleared and everything.
Yeah.
I kind of got all that taken care of already. Yeah, trust me. I was already discussing before we even did the shit. I was making sure because that was one thing I didn't want to run into, you know what I'm saying? Plus one of my close partners is signed to him too, so that kind of helped me a lot too.
You know what I always say about features too, man? And I know business is business, but I always been of the mindset, I'm featuring with people that I like as artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when you say, man, I got to get one with Short. I got to get one. Because those are people, you're not chasing a business situation.
Yeah,
I
never,
artistic collaboration.
95% of the features that I gotten on my stuff is people that I
fans of.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's never really been, oh man, I can get this dude on the song. My shit going.
Right.
Yeah, I never been like that, man.
Yeah.
No, I never been like that. Like I said, the very first feature I ever got was ESG, cause that was one of the first. Really, one of the first Houston albums I ever had was the Sell in the South.
Yeah.
Now I said that was before. After I realized what was going on, I went back.
Listen to the first.
Yeah, I went
Man,
back.
I ain't know what was the first.
Yeah, I said I went back. So yeah, most people I got on my stuff is people that I admired or was a fan of, and you know, I had to do the Boosie record. Come on, man, I'm from Louisiana. Yeah, I had to do that one. That was some bucket list shit right there. So yeah,
man, my brother, we wish you the best. We know you're going to keep ascending and being great and doing your thing, brother. And I always have respect and appreciation for people who come from nothing and just build it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have, you got with the house later on, but hearing your story about how you just was financing and doing all that yourself, I'm still trying to think of a rapper that did that.
He did the Dame and Dash.
Yeah, and Dame was no rapper. I'm talking about. We all look for investors. We all look for labels. We sent our demos off to labels to get signed. For a man to say I was putting my money and my weight behind it myself from day one.
Yeah, I've always have. And a lot of people look at me and think that I don't have none of that. I don't know what that is. I mean now if somebody go bring something to the table, I ain't gonna turn it down. Right. If it's right, I'll go with it. Absolutely. But for the most part, man, I was just nothing built like that. And I ain't knocking nobody that do got investors and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, because I don't want to own nobody's shit.
And you just because I want to say this to a lot of artists too. When you putting up, investing in yourself, you're gonna incur all of the rewards. You don't have to. Nobody has to recoup anything from you. You gonna take the risk, but you get the reward at the end. You got to bet on yourself, and that's what it all boils down to. Give me your social media, my big bro. Tell them how they can find you and anything.
Man, everything is Highway Yella, no matter what you looking on.
Highway Yella.
Everything is Highway Yella, no matter what you looking on. I'm not hard to find you.
Man. My brother,
no spaces, no dots, no nothing. Straight Highway Yella.
And high spelled the right way. HIGH, that's what it is. All right, cool. Well, thank you, brother, man. Like, we learned so much, and I appreciate you. And I know we're going to continue to hear your name ringing and growing in the game, man. It's your big brother, K Reno.
It's your boy, Keisto.
It's the Underground Dialogue Podcast where names speak for itself, and we is
artists.
Man.
There you go.
Hey.
That was hard.
Yeah,
It's
man.
your big brother K Reno. Look, man, the Underground Dialogue website is back in function. We back in motion, man. If y'all want Underground Dialogue podcast merch, whatever you need, go to undergrounddialogue.com and check us out. And always make sure that every Wednesday night, y'all are checking out the Underground Dialogue podcast right on YouTube, 9 p.m. Central Time. Yeah! What's up, man? It's your big brother, K Reno. And check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business. You can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue podcast. All you got to do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. What up, man? It's your big brother, K Reno. I'm proud to announce that I'm a new brand ambassador to this new brand of clothing and shoes called Volas. Y'all make sure that y'all support this. It's already available. Houston-based company, straight out the A. Look at the quality of the packaging itself. We ain't even got to the shoes yet, man. And this is just one pair of shoes, one design. They got all kinds of dope designs of shoes that you guys can choose from. Go to volas.biz and find your order, find what you want. Wide selection to choose from, male and female items, and I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Community workers, versatile products, Volas, manufactured in Italy. Look at the quality of this box, man. Y'all don't know what it is, man. Catch y'all later on.